Microsoft Teams and is also being live streamed. Today we are considering objections from the police and environmental health to a proposed 10 for Meanwhile Gardens, Elkston Road, London W10. I'm Councillor Janet Evans and I'm chairing this meeting. I confirm I have no declarations to make in relation to this item. I'm joined by Councillor Wade. Councillor, can you introduce yourself?
Councillor Linda Wade. I have no problems.
Okay, thank you. From the licensing team, do we have Dave Williams or who is here today?
It's Laura McGann today,
Laura.
Chair. Thank you.
Let me change them. Because we changed the day, I'm just checking. Thank you, Laura. Our legal advisor, Horatio Chance. Our committee officers, Nima Mahudin, Daniela Healy, and Holly Weaver. Yes, okay. Election of a substitute chair. If my connectivity falls, it will be by default Councillor Wade. Who needs to confirm this since we are a committee of 2 today?
I confirm.
Okay, and I confirm. Very good. Thank you, colleagues. Before we start the hearing, there are a few ground rules. Please keep your microphones on mute until you are invited to speak. Please make sure your phones are on silent. Please do not use the chat on the Microsoft Teams app as it is not monitored. Everyone should have received the procedure for this meeting regarding the use of cameras and how to connect back in if you lose connection. Thank you. Nima Mahudin, can you please run through the list of the people to speak today?
So we have Chandrika Dalpat, the premises user who will be speaking today, and we have PC Janelle Cardenas from the police. Also accompanying her is David Graham, the counsel for the police, and they should be the ones that are speaking today.
Okay, thank you very much. We will first have the licensing officer speak, Laura McGann. She'll give a brief outline of the 10. Then I will ask the premises user, Ms. Chandrika Dalpat, to present her submission. She will have up to 10 minutes. Morning. Questions may then be asked of her by the committee and by environmental health and our legal officer. Then I will ask David Graham, counsel for the police, to present his objection. He will have up to a maximum of 10 minutes to do so. He is joined by PC Janelle Cardenas, who may be able to assist the committee if we have any questions. Questions may then be asked of the police by the committee, the premises user, and our legal advisor. Then I'll ask Philip Richardson, are you here today?
I can confirm that noise and nuisance haven't submitted a representation today.
Sorry, I don't hear you. You were muffled.
Sorry, noise and nuisance haven't submitted a representation today, so they won't be attending.
Right, that's what I thought. So I was wondering why they're on the list here. Okay, so questions may, finally, I will turn to the governance team to see if any questions have been raised that we need to consider. There'll be no summing up of and the committee will then adjourn for 10 minutes to make our decision. We will reconvene to verbally announce the decision today, and it will then be confirmed in writing within 5 days. Let's get started. Just remember, we've all read the papers, so there's no need to repeat them. And do draw our attention to anything that's relevant. Okay, Laura McGann, can you please do the 10 for us? Explain it to us.
Thank you, Chair, and good morning.
Good morning.
We have
Good morning. We have before us today a temporary event notice which has received objections from PC Caldinez on behalf of the Metropolitan Police on the grounds of prevention of crime and disorder and public safety. Ms Dalpat has submitted a temporary event notice for Sunday the 24th and Monday the 25th of August 2025 to use the lawn space known as the festival site, Meanwhile Gardens, Elkston Road, London W10, for the provision of regulated entertainment between 12 and 7 p.m. during the Notting Hill Carnival. A copy of this notice, event management plan, risk assessment, site plan, and the premises user's response to the police to the objection can be found at Appendix A of today's bundle. A summary of the police objection can be found at page 6 of today's bundle, and the objection is attached as Appendix B. Relevant extracts from the Council's statement of licensing policy are attached as Appendix C. The premises are located in the Golborne ward. Meanwhile Gardens is situated between Elkston Road and the canal. A map of the area is attached as Appendix D, and a list of licensed premises within the vicinity is attached as Appendix E. A map of the 2024 Carnival footprint indicating the parade route, location of sound systems, bars, street trading sites, safe areas and other matters are attached as Appendix F. For clarity, Chair, this map is for illustrative purposes only, as the map for 2025 is yet to be finalised. A list of temporary event notices received so far for this year's Carnival are attached to Appendix G. This list excludes notices which have been withdrawn or issued with a counter notice. Some of these notices may still be under consultation. Finally, Chair, I can confirm that the following additional documents have been circulated. That's 2 documents from the police, the Sector 1 map and crime statistics for Sector 1. In determining this matter, the committee must have regard to the objection notice from the police and take such of the following steps as it considers necessary for the promotion of the licensing objectives. The steps are A, to issue a counter notice if it considers it necessary for the promotion of any of the licensing objectives to do so, or B, take no action and allow the notice to have effect. This concludes my summary of this morning's proceedings. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Ms. McGann. Okay, now for the premises user's case. Shall we put up a map of the area? I think was
yes,
that.
We'll do it now.
Yeah, Appendix D or E? Let's see. Can you zoom in on that? Okay, so Ms. Dalpat, that would be helpful if you could point to things that are relevant. Okay, you have 10 minutes to speak make your submission. Thank you. Ms. Dalpat?
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I'm going to start by just giving you a little bit of background about myself and then go into our event plan. So I've actually worked for Meanwhile Gardens for 30 years. For all of those 30 years, I've been involved in the Notting Hill Carnival, with the exception of 4 when we didn't have any carnivals because of COVID and because I had 2 kids during those years. So for 26 carnivals, I have organised and been involved in running the Notting Hill Carnival at Meanwhile Gardens. We're not part of the Notting Hill Carnival Trust. We're a community garden that is located alongside Elkstone Road, as you can see. And over the years, the route has changed and directions have changed. And currently, the procession does go, part of the procession goes up Elkstone Road and then turns right onto the Great Western Road. How we see what happens on Elkstone Road is that it's a warm-up area because the judging location is further down the road here somewhere on Elkstone Road. So is my cursor showing you
No, I'm just seeing it. There we go. Okay. there.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's exactly it. And then turns right. And I do understand that that has become a really busy junction at the turning of Elkstone Road into the Great Western Road. So anyway, what I wanted to also let you know is that, you know, I have personally seen the Notting Hill Carnival grow into an enormous event where over 2 million people come into the area, and I fully appreciate that there's a lot to consider. In the last couple of weeks, I've met with the police and the special events team to discuss our proposal and to take on board the finer details of the objection. I understand fully that crime and public disorder and potential incidences are of primary concern. I do understand that. So I want to reassure you that over the last few weeks, I have been working extensively to try and address those issues. What I want to let you know is that basically we have submitted another event plan with a more detailed risk assessment, and we have engaged with 3 companies that provide trained and, you know, qualified and trained personnel in security. I think they are called SIA badge holders, and if we get our temporary event notice, if that's authorised, then all 3 of them are super keen to work with us and to be part of the Notting Hill Carnival arrangements. So that's, you know, that's actually a really big reassurance to me, and I hope that helps you to see that we are trying to address all the issues. So basically, I have applied to have some music within Meanwhile Gardens. With the police and the special events team, we talked about the difference between entertainment, licensed entertainment, and what the police called ancillary entertainment or ancillary music. So it's kind of somewhere between the two, if I'm honest, and I understand that there's a fine line, and with more time we could get into that, but how we see what we're doing is that we're providing music for people who come into the gardens, who need a break from the overcrowded streets. We do have a number of stalls set up around the gardens, not where the blue box is, but around other areas. I'll see if my cursor can work here. Is that working? No?
I'm sharing my screen. What is it exactly that you want me to show? Did you want the event management plan?
Oh, that'd be helpful. That'd be really helpful.
It's right here. If you just tell me which pages, then I can just scroll
Actually, it's
through
not
them
on
for you.
there. It was part of one of the first documents.
Oh, okay, 1 second. I'll go into your application then.
Yes, it's with the application.
And page 14, Nima, I think, has a diagram of how it should be laid out.
There we go. So where all the numbering starts from 1 to 13, they are food stalls and carnival merchandise, and this year we have a coffee cart as well, which is number 13, and we also have toilets, which we have every year for public use. The other point that I want to stress is that our application doesn't seek to sell alcohol. We pride ourselves in being a family-friendly environment, and we are known by the main organisers of Notting Hill Carnival to be that space. I did have a conversation with Matthew Phillips yesterday. He's the CEO of the Notting Hill Carnival Trust, and it was actually very helpful to talk through things. Matthew and I, although we haven't worked together on the Notting Hill Carnival over many years, I do know Matthew quite well because he actually used to sit on our Board of Governors at Meanwhile Gardens many, many years ago. As I said, I have 30 years of employment with Meanwhile Gardens. So I basically, I know we're right up to the minute, but I do have a tremendous amount of support for this event, and have people that are willing to give their time and energy to the event if we get the go-ahead. So it's been, you can imagine, it's been quite stressful trying to get to this point. Anyway,
you have 2 more minutes.
Okay, thank you. I hope that, you know, during the questions and answers, I'm able to answer your questions in a reassuring manner. And I'll just see if there's anything else I wanted to point out to you. Where you see entry exit point C on the map, I think that is one of your major concerns, and entry point B, although I would say that is possibly less of a concern. But anyway, okay, I think I've covered everything. Oh yeah, one final thing. We don't advertise our event. People know, local people come to Meanwhile Gardens because they know us to be a safe space during that, you know, tremendously busy event. So we see quite a few elderly people and families come to Meanwhile Gardens because they know that it's a relatively safe space for them to be in. So I just want to finish with that for now.
Thank you so much. First questions from the committee. Councillor Wade.
Good morning. I have several, which I hope you'll be able to help me with. The application, it says the festival area of Meanwhile Gardens. In fact, the map in front of us would appear to be the whole of Meanwhile Gardens.
It's not the whole of Meanwhile Gardens. It's the it's one end of the gardens. The gardens are actually 4 acres, and I've really focused on the end where our entertainment takes place and our, you know, our stalls are set up and where families gather. Other parts of the gardens are a thoroughfare down to Elkstone Road and Kensal Road, and they're a more wild space with ponds and walkways, a Moroccan garden, that kind of thing. So it not really our focus over the weekend, although we do collect the litter and ensure that, you know, we're patrolling that space, but not to the extent that we do on this area of the gardens.
So what's the area here? If the total of Meanwhile Gardens is 4 acres, what's the space that you've got here?
It's probably about 2 acres. It's probably about half the gardens.
All right. So if somebody gains access to this space, can they get access to the other 2 acres?
Yes. Yes. They can walk all the way down. Yeah.
All right. So you said that you might get 3 SIA guards. We're going to get.
Sorry.
Yeah.
We've obtained quotes just yesterday from 3 companies.
Right. And how many guards would you have?
We would have 4, and we would have 2 on each of those entry points, B and C.
And what about A?
A is not part of our site plan or event plan. A is a location that exits. Nothing actually happens there. It's an exit onto the not the Great Western Road, Elkstone Road and Kensal Road, and the parade passes there. But we're not having any stalls or.
No, but will that be open for access?
Yes, yes.
But it's not going to be. And so, if you could just kind of expand on how each of these entry points is going to be covered. If you say you have four guards, two on C and B, but not on A.
No.
Who would be covering would stewards? How many stewards?
Yeah. So we have 10 stewards, and they will be more focused on directing people. We get asked a lot of questions about where things are happening and how to get to places. And we quite often assist people who have maybe had too much drink or, are disorientated. So, yeah, that's what I want to keep our stewards focused on those kind of things and let the security deal with any overcrowding that may happen at those two main points.
It's quite a long day for them, so presumably they're going to have rest breaks, aren't they?
Yes, yeah.
So who would, if they're going to be 2 allocated for each of C and B, what happens when they need rest periods? Do they have to alternate, or how is that going to work?
Okay, so the plan is to have them start at 11 a.m. and they will have a briefing from myself, and I will show them around the site so that they get a full understanding, and then show them the 2 locations that they're going to be at. From my experience, the peak of those 2 days is between 2 and 7 p.m. Usually at 7 p.m. you can feel that the music in around the whole of the area stops, because I understand that is the sort of cut-off point for music over the weekend, 7 p.m. and we will do the same, obviously. Before we get to our peaks, we will give our stewards and our security proper breaks.
And who's going to cover for them?
Well, we have a rota.
Oh, all right, but a rota of SIA or security guards.
Yes. In addition to the 2 entry points where our marquee is located, we also have some security on there, so they can alternate.
All right, I've got a couple of questions. I mean, you're undertaking a lot of roles here.
I am.
And it would have been useful to have had a framework of who reported to who. But I have 3 questions, all right. What is the position of the organizer if an individual attends that are either drunk or under the influence of drugs? How would you deal with that situation?
I am first aid qualified, and another one of our stewards is also first aid qualified. I mean, I can tell you we have dealt with many situations of people being drunk. Obviously, it depends on how bad they are, but we do have a base for our stewards and all our personnel working over the weekend, which you can see on our site plan is called the Play Hut. It's actually a children's facility outside of Notting Hill Carnival, but over the carnival, it is our base. We have first aid kits, we have access to toilets, running water, a landline, you know, so we're well set up. And the personnel that I have who will be managing the Play Hut has equally probably about 15 years of experience of working with us. She's worked over many carnivals.
All right, but I mean, basically, the procedure is you identify the person and you remove them from the site area.
Yes, if they need moving, yes. If they're really, really bad. I mean, sometimes people are in a group of friends and their friends are, you know, around them and can sort of give them drinks of water and cool them down if they're overheating, or, you know, sometimes it's easier to let a person just stay in a location where they are and just kind of oversee at that point. It really depends on how bad they are and whether their friends stay with them. I mean, you know, we have had situations where friends abandon their friend.
I mean, because it moves on. If somebody is adversely affected by drugs, you remove them, do you, to a safe space?
Yes, to the Play Hut again. Last year we had 2 casualties that basically spent most of their day lying on a bench in the Play Hut until they recovered.
And so what is the protocol if somebody it's felt that somebody has a knife or a gun?
Well, we haven't had that situation before, but obviously we do have police all around us. I would, you know, immediately contact a police officer. I would not try and deal with that situation myself.
All right, but can you just talk me through? You've got stewards.
They
may be the first people who identify a potential situation.
Absolutely.
So they report back to you immediately?
They would either report back to me or grab a police officer. I don't want people waiting around to grab me in that kind of incident. They need to contact the police immediately.
So, I mean, it comes back to you having a lot of different roles and having to be in a lot of different places. That was the reason why I asked that question. So the other thing is, why don't you liaise with the Carnival Committee?
Well, we've just always been very independent of it. It's not that we don't want to. I think in the meeting that I had with Matthew yesterday, it was very clear that it's kind of time to liaise. And, you know, he actually said that he would invite me to the debriefing, and he explained that, you know, they're obviously having monthly meetings in the build up to the Notting Hill Carnival. And I feel like it is time to work more closely together as this event has grown and changed. Yeah.
And can I ask you, why did you apply for the 10 so late?
My personal workload is quite big. We weren't sure what we were going to do, whether we were going to have any music or not. Last year we didn't have any music. The year before, we had a children's entertainer, so we did apply for the 10, but just because the entertainer needed music to deliver his performance, if you like. Last year we didn't have anything because basically it's a hugely expensive event to put on, because it's bank holiday weekend. There are so many logistics around getting equipment in and out. It's just very, very expensive. We're a small charity.
No, I'm very aware of your charity. So the last question I have is, we've concentrated on the festival area.